Hi, my name is Cameron Haggard, and I am going to be taking you through the courseware for NoRedInk this week. So, to start off, NoRedInk is a literacy tool that we use in the high school classrooms, and it can be used from anywhere up from kindergarten through 12th grade. But I teach secondary education, so I have ninth through 12th graders. So, we use this as mainly a supplementary learning tool for our students, but it is something that can be used both outside the classroom and inside the classroom, depending on what level of students you are teaching or what level of student you are in learning, especially for ELs. So to start off, NoRedInk here, it is a curriculum tool. It does help build better writers. It's good for writing mastery and good for grammar and stuff like that. So this would be the main page you would see here for NoRedInk. It does have, like it says here, a comprehensive writing platform designed for our classrooms, especially from grades 3 to 12. It does offer writing tools for younger than 3 to 12, but mainly for a little bit older and then on to secondary. It has plenty of educators that use it and have said how good it is for their students and their programs. And then down here, it talks about its essential complements to ELA even, that it is authentic, it's interactive, has flexible writing activities, can differentiate for students, and it even connects to their personal interest. So let's explore it a little bit. Also here, deeper reporting insights for standards and assessment-based progress, comprehensive support, a wide variety of content. And then again here, especially looks at grades 3 through 5. So if you're an elementary school teacher trying to teach your 3rd to 5th graders English, especially those that are EL students, then this would be a good tool to use. So going back up here, it is free to use. So I'm going to take you through if you signed up as a student first. So here it does tell you, are you a student or are you an educator? And I will show you both sides of the platform. So initially you would like to have a class code as a student to sign up for, but it does have an option here that says I don't have a class code. So again, options to sign up with. You have email, a class link, Clever, and Google. So let's just say Google, and I'll use my ASU email here. So when you first get into it, and this is what you'll see as a student, even in a classroom, you have to select your interests just to give the program kind of an idea of how to tailor the content to you. So it has options here for movies and TV, and that breaks it down even further. Video games, sports, and other interests. And then you can even type in your own friends' names, your pets' names. So I'll just click, we'll say Avatar, Zendaya, Pokemon, and let's say just a random football player and a random tennis player. Oh, looks like it's asking me to select a little more. So just a few more here, and then you press continue. So again, once you've selected your interest, this is the point where your teacher would probably provide you with a class code. But if you don't have it, like I said, it is a free tool to use and you can practice on your own here. So then you want to learn under whichever grade level that you are trying to do. So again, this would probably be working best for 12th and below, so secondary, elementary, primary education. It is not really a tool for college or higher. If you are an adult EL learner and you are a low-level English speaker, English writer, or reader, then you would probably be able to use this tool to your advantage, because then you can put it on a grade level scale, and then that way you can figure out how to advance your English learning from there. If you want to start with the basics. So because I teach high school, I will select 9th through 12th. We'll say I'm a secondary ed student here, and I want to learn about active and passive voice. So it even comes in parts here. You get to identify active and passive. then move on to arranging the sentences, and then part 3 would be varying the sentences with voice. So like I said, it's an English-only tool. That's what it's for, is to teach English. So if you go into it here, identifying active voice verbs, this is what you would see as a student. So from one of those interests that I picked, we have Isabella Madrigal has gathered all the flowers from the front yard, and it wants us to select the active voice verb. So the active voice verb here would be has gathered. So I would submit my answer, and I've already completed a level. So it does get harder as you go. It adapts to the student, which is a good thing to do for a program, especially in high school, because you want to be more challenged the harder the questions get. You want to challenge yourself as a student, especially when you're learning English, because that will help push you to learn it better. So again, we're looking at active voice here. Let's say I didn't know what active voice verb was. I didn't know that ask is the verb, so I will select one of the other things on the sentence. We'll say team, and then I'll submit. And it says try again. You get one other chance to select the answer, so I'll select the other wrong answer. But before I do that, it can show you a hint. And then, so this is the cool part about this, is that if they get it wrong more than once, it does break it down here and gives them a teaching tutorial on what to do with active voice. So here it gives them what the subject is doing, and then it says any verbs can be like this. And then it even goes on to talk about passive voice, and considering that they could have selected maybe a passive voice verb rather than an active voice verb. So that's really cool about that, is that if they don't know what it's doing, you haven't taught it yet, you just want to get kind of a raw data, they can learn as they go. So I'll submit the answer, and then it gives you the right answer. And then when you have the wrong answer, it will give you that teaching tutorial hint. So if you want to try another one, we have Mirabel Madrigal will compete in the chess tournament next week. So we'll compete, I'll submit, got one. Bruno Madrigal finds, submit it, 2 in a row. So again, as you go, it's supposed to get a little harder, or at least challenge you with more options. So then you can keep going, and as you notice up here where the stars are, it tells you the questions answered. The stars show you the levels that you've mastered, and then when you get to the end, it shows you that you have mastered that problem. So let me show you from a teacher standpoint. So from a teacher standpoint, this shows you my classes of the dashboard here. I have my 2 periods, and then actual classes that I used to teach that are no longer there. But taking you through this page here, it can give you a weekly quick write you could assign to students. And then of course here it says includes AI powered grading, as we are in the time of AI use with our computer assisted language learning tools. So that was one of the features that it is trying to present to people that may be interested in using the product, is that it does offer AI grading. Shortcuts here, you can view it as a student, see what your students are seeing that you assign them. You can assign AI graded writing, and then you could look at writing portfolios for the students. Up here you have managed classes, and then a link for NoRedInk Academy. And then the NoRedInk Academy is something that is added on, gets a little extra stuff for teachers that you can look at, learn more ways to help boost student learning, has an administrative hub, and get certified in ways to do things. But back to the tool itself, up here you have the create a new assignment. So let's go to my assignments over here. So here you can see the ones I've given. It gives you options to do when you make assignments. You can do a diagnostic, some practice for your students, a quiz after the practice, and maybe a writing prompt. So it shows you here, I've given them some practices and some quizzes, and you can even go and look at more past due assignments. And when you're creating a new assignment here, you can see here it prompted me on the grading assistant for AI. I haven't tried that yet actually, so I have done writing prompts for my students before, so let's bring down the level to grade 6 as I do teach English language learners. So in high school, you want to give them a little bit of a lower level to start off if you're starting at the beginning of the year, and maybe push them as you go throughout the year, upping the grade level as you go. So here you can create your own prompt, argumentative paragraph prompts, text analysis, and then a daily writing, bell ringers, exit tickets, fluency, and fun. Let's just click the first one here and preview it. And then after exploring the assignment, select I'm done writing to see the support. Got it. It gives you the prompt here. You can view it full screen, and then you have directions to describe who, what, where, when, why, photos to choose from. So it is interactive. It does give you differentiation here, like you have a photo that goes with the prompt. That would be good for visual learners. Let's go back and look at some other assignments. So browse and assign again. Instead of writing, maybe I would like my students to look at their standards. So I'm in Arizona. Let's say we have our Arizona State Standards. And unfortunately, for Arizona, I teach to the AZELA, which is the proficiency test for EL learners. And looking here, I do not see that option as something available for my students. So that would be a critique I have of it, is that it needs to have all options for Arizona, or whatever state that you are planning on teaching this in. This is a platform that is used nationwide. I'm on a Mac right now. I forgot to mention that. I'm on a Mac, and this is what I would see on my Windows computer that I use at school. So it is the same interface for both. So you can use it on any of the computers that are available, but it is web-based. I have not seen an app version. That does not mean it does not exist, but yeah, web-based for my purposes. So let's just say grade 8. It's a little lower. We'll say reading informational text, and then it breaks down the standards here and easy to understand language. We'll say we want to look at standard 3, and we'll click the first assignment here. What I do like about the assignments too is that you can show different ways to grade it. It can grade it by word count. It can grade it by the rubric from AI. It can grade it manually, where you have to go in and do it, or manual rubric-based scoring as well. Your rubrics over here, the student should be seeing that too. You can give them a minimum length to find. And then, of course, with something like this, you might want to provide the text, add a source here so they can use the source, go to that. So overall, I do think it is a really good tool for the teachers if they're implementing it in their curriculum, to help with supplementing teaching. So maybe a teacher would teach how to use commas and then supplement with NoRedInk practices on how to use commas correctly, and maybe even do a quiz at the end to assess them and give them the data, give yourself the data. So I do think it's a great tool to use. It is more tutorial than it is specifically direct learning. Like I said, you would teach the concept, they would use this to then practice and maybe be assessed on the concept. So I use it for high school. It can be used for lower grade levels. And then overall, it is just good for English-based literacy. Thank you.